Hello friends! Joe back again to look at some more Granblue characters. Because it is Flash Gala. Well, I'm assuming it's Flash Gala when I'm recording this, since we never have set dates for that, but let's go and see what we get. I haven't logged in since yesterday apparently. Okay. Adam, okay. Interesting. It's been a while since he's been in the story. Surprised it took so long for him to get a character. And one more. Therese, okay, cool. Her fire version was pretty decent back in the day. I used her a lot when I was fairly new because she was a pretty early fire character for me, so I used her quite a bit. I do like Yu Kobayashi, her voice actor. So yeah, let's go take a look. Is Adam Grand? No, he's not. Okay, that's interesting. So take a look at this weapon first. Big Garrison, Small Majesty. It does have an FLB, so I'm gonna say that's probably want to use that, but I feel like Earth has quite a few Garrison options already in Primal. I'm not sure. And Therese's weapon, Small Slayer. Alright, that's okay, that's whatever. Let's look at Adam first. Who's Earth? He's a non-limited Earth character, so these days they tend to not be very good, so let's hope he is better than, you know, the likes of Jin or Herha or Laguna and whatnot. So his Ogi is massive earth damage to a foe, restore Adam's HP and armor effect, boost the CA specs when Achillea is in effect, okay. Skill 1, shield effect to earth allies, auxiliary effect. When in effect, boost CA specs, uplift effect, ends upon taking damage 2 times. Interesting. Skill 2, 700% earth damage to foe, remove 1 buff, activates twice when Achillea is in effect. Okie doke. And then 70% water damage cut to all allies. Fairly simple skill there. Achillea effect to Adam for 1 turn at battle start, and at end of each turn, if HP is 80% or above, when Achillea is in effect, boost to Earth allies' attack, defense, and multi-attack rate. So obviously the thing we want to do here is see if the wiki is up to date. And then cap water damage taken at 5,000 per hit. Is that for the party or just himself? I would assume just himself. So let us see here. So his shield is 10k, that's the same as like Fediel, which is pretty cool. This one is 30% perpetuity attack, 50% defense, 20% double attack, and 10% triple attack. That's not half bad. So right off the bat, he is a lot better than other recent Earth permanent characters. So he doesn't want to get hit because you want to try and keep him above 80% HP. So that you don't remove this, and also obviously for this. His heal on Ogi is 4k, which is not too bad, as well as 100% to take 30% less damage, which is pretty decent. And he gets 50% damage and 25% cap for this as well. So honestly, pretty simple character, but not terrible. Like there's definitely a lot worse non-limbs in Earth. He'd probably work pretty well with Satyr, because like I said, he doesn't want to get hit in order to not lose this and to keep him above HP, and Satyr is obviously incredibly strong character that you use in a lot of setups in Earth, and her S1 basically boosts her hostility by quite a bit, so you can kind of redirect a lot of stuff away from Adam here if you're using Satyr. I feel like obviously Earth has a lot of very good limited units, so if you're not real, if you have them and or you're not really needing his kind of like utility, then you're probably not going to use him that much. So also this auxiliary thing here is 30% CA damage, 10% camp, and 10% uplift. That's only to him though, I believe, not the entire team. So he seems fine. Like, I know a lot of people have been waiting quite a long time for Adam, assuming that he would be a Grand because he's a main story quest character. Not that that guarantees anything, because Shitori wasn't a Grand. Freezy, if you count her, isn't a Grand. And obviously Adam here is not a Grand, but obviously he's fine. Like, he's pretty decent, but yeah, he's fine. Like, I think if you need like a tank or a kind of, you know, he gives a shield, he gives a 70% water damage cut for 2 turns, which is pretty good. Plus he has a dispel as well, which is nice. A double dispel possibly if you have this. But I think like if you need like a tanky kind of character, he seems pretty good. But I think, you know, as is usually the case with a lot of the non-limited characters, like if you have better options, you're probably going to use them instead. But he seems perfectly fine if you could see decent use in hard battles, like especially, like I said, if you're combining him with Satyr just to draw aggro away from him and keep his stuff up longer. But now let's look at Therese, who is now in Wind. Massive wind damage to a foe on Ogi, ends cooldown for one of Therese's skills. For one of them. Presumably that's just random. Let me just quickly load up our wiki page in advance. Skill 1, 6 to 15 hit wind damage to random foes. During jackpot effect, minimum number of hits increased to 10. Okay. LER Beaks winning again. I mean, she works for the casino, so the RNG aspect makes some sense, I guess. Skill 2, cast deals triple attacks, bonus wind damage effect, consumes 25% of max HP. That's identical to her one of her fire version skills. Skill 3, change number of times caster does an attack this turn. What? Okay. During jackpot event, improves chances of getting higher numbers of attacks. So she can she either gets double, triple, quadruple strike, or she gets stunned and can't attack at all. Interesting. Take a lethal hit without being knocked out. One time, lose 1 HP. Chance of jackpot effect when Therese is almost knocked out at the end of turn. Boosts Therese's dodge rate and chance to counter based on how low HP is. Okay, so she's more of an enmity character, which in Wind, Primal Wind anyway, is kind of the default now for Zephyrus because of like Creepy Claws and Show Fist and that. Enmity is generally how you play Primal Wind, but in Magna Wind, not great. I also doesn't so Wiki just says this is just completely random, so I'm guessing that none of these are like particularly weighted, so this would be a lot better if this wasn't an option. So the fact that you could possibly just waste an entire turn of this, but so yeah, she's like she's literally RNG based. Add a gacha character to your gacha game. Literal. She will either be incredibly strong or incredibly weak just based on what your luck is. Like, she might get 15 hits on this, or she might get 6. She might get quadruple strike, or she might get nothing at all. And obviously the jackpot stuff will kind of improve your chances, obviously, but that's going to be somewhat difficult to get to and maintain in Magna. It'll be much easier in Primal, especially if you is it either Creepy Claws or Show Fist? One of the Primal weapons that Wind uses now has bloodshed on it, So you could potentially, with this, get her down to 25% HP turn 1, which would give you jackpot pretty early. But yeah, she seems like more tailored for shorter fights. So just do all her skills, hope you get lucky, and then, you know, kill her off or she gets killed and bring someone else in. Like, I think her fire version in Wind tended to be pretty fragile as well. In Fire, rather. That you just use all her skills and then that would consume her HP and make her more likely to be targeted and stuff. I don't remember exactly her fire version's skills, but I do think she was somewhat fragile once all her stuff kind of had been used up. She seems the same here as well, just could be super, super strong if you get very lucky, otherwise is probably fine for short fights. But if you get very unlucky, then she might be literally useless. But I look forward to seeing some showcases of her getting, like, hitting the 15 hit on this and getting quadruple strike with a bunch of echoes and whatnot. So that should be cool. But yeah, pretty interesting characters. Adam seems pretty decent. Therese seems wildly good or bad, depending on your luck. But thanks for watching. And until next time, couple of weeks, end of the month. See you guys later.